Our infrastructure has already been targeted and exploited. I want us to understand something. Our infrastructure has already been targeted and exploited. I went through gold and silver for a reason. I want to show you something. The U.S. Treasury Department has been hacked already. All right, when we think of security, when we think of some place that like, I know we think of, CIA and all of those kind of things, but the Treasury Department would be one place you think cannot be hacked. I mean, that's what has to do with, okay, when you got those stimulus checks a few years ago, Treasury Department. When you're talking about the Social Security checks and all, Treasury Department. All of those kinds of, so this would seem to be a secure facility. Matter of fact, you see when they were talking about Elon Musk and going into Social Security and how they people didn't want him in there. No. Do you know the Chinese already hacked it? But we won't let him in, but we can't keep them out. Not only did they hack it, a new report has revealed that the Biden administration quietly acknowledged over a year ago that hackers sponsored by the communist regime have the ability to shut down U.S. infrastructure, such as ports and power grids, at will. Jake Sullivan, who was the National Security Advisor, he admitted that Chinese hackers had acquired the ability to potentially paralyze the U.S. by disrupting power grids and shipping ports. A year after the meeting, hackers from China executed a further massive breach of U.S. internet service providers in September of 2024. Y'all remember when the internet went down? Do you remember they didn't tell us this? They didn't tell us it was hacked. Because how secure would we feel if we knew not only that it was hacked, but they could hack it at will? In one of the final interviews, Christopher Wray, who used to be the FBI director, listen to what he's saying. Before he left office, this is what he was saying. The greatest long-term threat facing our country, in my view, is represented by the People's Republic of China. Is that not clear? If it ain't clear enough, let's do this. Let's show why it's clear. Chinese malign actors are pre-positioning on American civil critical infrastructure in order to lie in wait on those networks to be in position to wreak havoc and inflict real-world harm at a time and place they're choosing. Remember we was talking about China was buying all of the gold, and we said what happened while Russia was buying the gold because they was about to invade Ukraine. So China's buying the gold because they're about to invade Taiwan. Okay, when they invade Taiwan, if they're already lying in position in our infrastructure, what if they crash the grid? Have you ever seen what people in America are like when the lights go out? A major incident occurred in December in which the workstations at the U.S. Treasury Department were remotely accessed. Okay, that must just be some low-level workers in the Treasury Department. They were so level, the name was Janet Yellen, the former secretary of the Department of Treasury. The other was the Office of Foreign Assets and Control. These are the people who manage sanctions. The Chinese were sending a message. We can't just, it's not that we could just hack some little low level. We can hack your greatest departments, and those are the departments who put out sanctions against other nations. And we could do it at will. Anytime the Treasury is hacked, it sends shudders through the United States financial community and through financial communities around the world because countries rely on the dollar and they look to the United States financial markets. So I think we should look at this, not just as an attempt to get one or two documents from Treasury, but really an attack on the global financial system. So what if you couldn't get money from the bank? The stability of these infrastructures are not what they seem. This is fake, what they're propping up in front of us. Did you know this? Things like water treatment plants. We just got a letter, my wife and I were out walking, and I was telling her about something that I wanted to do, And I asked her, I asked her just a simple question. I said, what would you do if something happened to our water system? And, we're just in conversation. The next day, we get this letter about, oh, yeah, well, something happened to the water in January. Last time I looked, this is March. So you're telling me it happened in January, and you're letting us know now in March. Did you also know, look at this. We're talking about transportation systems, targeting of our energy sector, the electric grid, natural gas pipelines, telecommunication system. I don't know if you've got this communique, but the FBI is recommending all text messages, all be encrypted. If you have an Apple phone and you text to somebody that's Apple, it's encrypted. If you text to somebody that has a Samsung, it's not. If you have a Samsung and you go to Samsung, it's encrypted. It's just when they go opposite. I don't know if you know that, but that's Proverbs 17 and 19b says, anyone who trusts in high walls invites disaster. They want us to trust in a system that is already failing. Oh, everything's okay. You're okay. No problem. Trust the government. And I'm not anti-government. Like I said, I've served. I love my country. I have no problem with that. As believers, we must be careful not to put our trust in the systems and man-made organizations that represent this world and its sense of false security. The Bible says in Jeremiah 17 and 5, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabit it. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. The Bible says in Isaiah 36 and 6, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, which is a type of the world, wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. We cannot trust in this world and its systems. God did not design us to put trust in this system, in this world, but in him. I'm saying that because some of us are walking around thinking that we're trusting God. We're really not. We're trusting a system that we've learned to rely upon. And God is shaking this world and its systems. And if you're caught up in this system, it's going to shake you out.